Hey everyone, it's Baby Bear, and I'm so sorry I have not been up to date on this news. So I'm getting this out to you as soon as I got it. I have been really focusing on some real life stuff, and hopefully, we'll have some really cool news soon. But for right now, there's really bad news in the Evony community, and that is that Evony is cracking down on alts and bots. And it was going through like wildfire again in Discord channel. And what I always do is I always try to read all the channels to see where the patterns are forming on how they're deciding who gets banned or who gets warned or who gets RSS wiped and gem wiped. And I'm still trying to figure that out, but I'm sharing this video with you to kind of see. Maybe we can crowdsource some ideas and opinions of what's going on. So, a lot of people are basically getting their accounts suspended or banned. And it seems to be a lot of people that are even free players that are not using bots that are also getting banned on these accounts. So let's dive into some of these messages and see if we can kind of extrapolate some more information from it. So Evany sent this email to everybody in the game announcing illegal resource trading, okay? So we've detected behavior that some monarchs have illegal resource trading behavior, which harmed the monarch's interests and broke the fairness of the game. We have taken administrative action on those accounts, including but not limited to the removal of all gems, resources, and items that have been obtained through illegal resource trading and the banning of accounts, including permanently blocking players from accessing Evony. Players are invited and encouraged to report third-party payment activities and account sharing you might be aware of and assist in protecting a fair and fun game for all. So this is very similar to the pack loading messages, except this time they are now sweeping all of the alts and the bots. And it is really interesting how some people are not affected at all. Some people got outright banned, and some people got gem and RSS wiped with no pattern forming yet. So Akime23 reached out to me from their server and basically wanted to tell me that their alts got banned, and I believe their main account is obviously still able to function, but they did get a warning. However, they did say that they actually are a free-to-play player. So that is something that could be something to take into account. Are people getting wiped if they're free players? But then when I talk to a lot of Discord members, obviously a lot of those VIP 20 and up, that was something that we also were looking at, and a lot of people in the high VIPs also got their alts banned. Now, those alts were definitely most likely bots rather than just alts, but this player is definitely saying that they're free to play, which I don't think helps them, right? And I think that a lot of people spend on stamina packs on alts, and I think a lot of that has kept alts alive and bots alive because those look like players to Evony. They look like they're purchasing, so it looks like their main accounts to Evony. But maybe what Evony is doing is they're searching to see how much RSS. Maybe they have a cap. Maybe they have something programmed where they script it out where if an account is taking 5 billion RSS from any account on the server, flag it, put it in a red zone, and then have, people actually review the activity. Maybe they will see like a pattern form, like, oh, this person keeps plundering 5 billion from these 3 accounts. Maybe we'll cross check to see if the IP is coming from the same place. But then there's a lot of people who do bot services, alt services that use different IPs for each one. So it really is kind of that's a lot of work for Evony to do. So they must have made some sort of automated system to kind of search these keywords. I remember on King of Avalon, people would get temporary suspensions if they changed their name to something with the word sale or seller in it. So I remember I named an alt, it was called like used car salesman or something stupid, and it got automatically detected and it got automatically suspended. So I will say the using alts is like it's such a pain in the butt, and usually when I got an alt it'll be one that I inherited. It's never something that I want or start on my own. It was just something that was inherited, and eventually when you play a game for 5 to 6 years you inherit like lots of keeps. And so I just remember that one and I just thought it was so funny, but because it had the use of the word sell in it, I contacted customer service and asked them like what happened because I didn't do anything illegal with the alts or anything. I barely use them. But they said that it was because of the name in the game. So and which is interestingly enough that like on this game, if you have people using bad words and stuff, like they never suspend or ban that account. They just make you change it. So anyways, it seems like this game is figuring out ways to uh, make it difficult for people to cheat. However, I mean, they've been letting people do this for so long, and I have seen now countless of times people saying they're gonna quit this game now because they don't have that leverage. And what's interesting on Akime is that they were a completely free player, and I believe what he's saying. He's showing kind of proof that, he's only been hitting this account and that, he's showing me packs that he's like never made a purchase. The thing is though, is that he is in, I think 453. So he's in an older server, which means that maybe they're not spending a lot of money in that server. And he's quite big. I mean, he's 3 billion and 38, keep 38. But if I have to respect his grind. Like I don't know why Evony would want to punish somebody that actually has played this game for a long, long time and has contributed to the game, and to the server. I just the only thing is maybe I should ask him this or her. Maybe I should ask if they have any enemies on the server because maybe people on the server are complaining. So maybe that's the pattern because I can't figure it out when VIP 20s and up and free players and everybody across the board is randomly getting banned. It's not a consistent pattern. Maybe the consistent pattern is it's, hey, do you have enemies? Are they reporting you? Because in that last paragraph, in the very first letter from Evany, it says they encourage people to basically tell on them. So maybe that's how they look into people's accounts. Luckily for me, I got enemies, but I don't do any pack looting or botting or outing. So I'm free in the clear, but there is a lot of people that probably complain about players that they think do that because they're bigger than them or, they don't like them. So that could be something. Um, Also, let's see what else he says. So, he's showing that he still hasn't purchased one pack, which is amazing. Props to this person. Like, having a Keep 38 for free play, can't even imagine. I do think, though, if this is your first time, like if this is your first warning in your account or your alt account or bot account got banned, I think you still have leverage. Use your main account and report the ID and just, say, hey, this is a family member. This is really a real account. Yes, I do get RSS from it, but it's not illegal. It's sharing, RSS. They're in the same household. See if you can, get around that because really if this person really is not using bots and really hasn't bought RSS, there has to be at least one exception, right? So a first time warning, it would be surprising to me that it automatically goes into an auto ban. So my thing is has that account been flagged many times? And maybe on the alts that don't spend or spend at all, and just like maybe this free to play player, maybe because he has zero purchases across the board on his main and his alts, I mean that should not be a reason for punishment. But maybe he has two family members at home that have their own accounts that share that RSS. So let's go to the customer service, terms of service 1.8s. And here it says, use the services or any part thereof for performing in-game services, such as power leveling and item collection services in exchange for payment outside the services. So this is really stressing that they're really looking for people who are paying for these outside services or automated types of collections. So if you're playing on an alt and it's somebody in your house or you, or even somebody in your alliance, because think of it this way, sometimes there's small players and sometimes they want protection from a big player, and let's say you're in a war, you want to help boost that big player to get more troops so that they can, defeat an enemy for good. That is something that happens in war games all the time, and Evony wouldn't have waybills if they didn't believe in a trading system, right? So for trading RSS for, like, let's say speed ups, or trading RSS for subsidies, that is just a normal function of the game. So this is specifically outlining payment of RSS. So the unfortunate part is that people who are not using bots or paying for RSS are also getting punished. And so again, I have a feeling, and this is something that I read in one of the chats, some people think that maybe it's the PvP reports. So somebody said that they delete their PvP reports all the time, and those bots didn't get banned or flagged, but all of the other ones did. And so it's really random because I do know people that use RSS services and bots, and a lot of people are like, yep, some of them got banned, some of them didn't. Interestingly enough, it even the bots that all paid for stamina packs, they got banned or they got warned. So it is not consistent across the board. So just, I would delete your PvP reports. I would not use your alts or bots for a little bit. I would like wait to see, what's going on. I definitely think that if you did get banned or punished and you're a first time offender, or you're not honestly doing any of the cheating techniques or paying for anything, then definitely try to talk to customer service and see what they can do. I think the more people complain about it, the more they have to figure out how to address it. Whether that is they make it so that you can't have an alt ever again, or they make it so that people can have alts, but they just can't pay for RSS. So I do know that on King of Avalon and Guns of Glory, they didn't care about alts at all. They didn't care about alts at all. They did crack down on bots and huge, alt farms, but they never really did anything crazy serious on just regular alts, because I think a lot of people depended on that. I think free to play players wouldn't have played that game without it. But also on King of Avalon and Guns of Glory, it wasn't 70 billion resources to upgrade their buildings. Going from barracks 39 to 40 is 70 billion each. I can't even imagine King of Avalon people paying that amount. So they had way less need for RSS to upgrade. And maybe that's where Evony has shot themselves in the foot, is that they really made, too high of inflation for the upgrades. And that's really causing people to have to turn to, using the automated services. I remember on Guns of Glory, we would only have to pay $20 for billions of RSS, and we could upgrade our keep and barracks and all the buildings for like 20 bucks. And that's it. And even the tiles only had like 500k resources, so everything was just a lot less. And Evony, for whatever reason, I guess maybe when they first started the game, they just thought, oh, we can get people to buy RSS. But the fact of the matter is, people buy skins, people buy boosts, people buy all that kind of stuff, and they're going to use whatever tools they can that they can easily evade Ebony. They're going to use it. So obviously, I am kind of glad that they did, get rid of like the pack loading and all that kind of stuff, because it's impossible to compete against boosts. But when people are, getting more RSS than you still can upgrade your buildings. You still can kill Ymirs. You still can, do a lot of stuff to still compete. But I guess, like, for me, I never really thought of people botting and getting RSS from alternative accounts. I never really thought of that being something that I feel so cheated by that somebody else is getting that. However, I do feel a little bit like, when somebody is getting packs for, $20 for 100, that there's a drastic difference between somebody getting more boosts than they are RSS. So it is what it is. I don't want to say like I'm losing interest in this game, but I am kind of losing interest in this game because when they're making it so difficult to actually compete where we were competing before at a certain price point, and now it's just like they keep moving the needle. It's like, you're kind of cheating us, because you kind of dangled this carrot and here's All Stars and you only need, 15K points to make it into All Stars. And now we're going to move you to, another continent that have played 2 years more than you. And good luck. Yeah, it's for me, I have like lost a lot of my drive for the game, but I still play for my friends and I still play for you guys. And hopefully Evony will get their shit together. So talk to you later.